to all. Phil Frieman here with Captain Daniel Hadawi up there on the Island Spirit in a special live presentation because Daniel had an outstanding day today. Daniel, good to see you, man. How are you?
Doing great, Phil. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Anytime I get to chat with my good friend Daniel Hadawi is a good day in the Friedman Adventures book. Man, halibut fishing on Wednesdays, you dedicate yourselves to halibut. The weather looked like it was going to be a little breezy today. It looks like in the foreseeable future, we're going to have really nice weather. Did the weather affect you? And how was the halibut fishing?
Yeah, the weather was bad. We had a very, very long ride out. We had to take it slow getting to the island. We couldn't fish on the side of the island that we have been catching a bunch of halibut on. We had to, fish on the lee side, but we were able to, scratch away and put together a nice score on some good halibut fishing today.
Shoot, I think, what'd you have, 17 fish? Something like that?
I think we had 18, I'm pretty sure.
Damn. I mean, Daniel, I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. I think we have the bar set so high now that you come off with a day with 18 halibut and you're like, yeah, we had a pretty good day. And really, I mean, to me, as a guy who grew up in the industry, started fishing 55 years ago, we didn't see halibut scores like that when I was a kid. And now they're pretty commonplace. Just another great day, man.
Yeah, it's really good fishing. It's a ton of fun. Everybody has an opportunity to catch one. I think we had 15 guys, and maybe all but one or two were able to land a halibut. So, uh, got a super good shot at you know getting a halibut when you come out on these trips.
All right, Mike Krinkovich, the cranker's with us, man. You never know what kind of nonsense may befall us when the cranker's in the house. Daniel, what was the key to getting a bite? Could you put your finger on anything? Was it bait? Was it the flukes? Was it lighter fluorocarbon? Give us the tackle recommendations because Friday you got a big day coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Seemed like the guys that caught multiple fish and were getting a lot of bites were using 20-pound fluorocarbon and constantly changing out their anchovies, keeping a nice, fresh, lively bait on their hook.
All right, very
And
good. So,
it's also noticeable the guys that struggled to get bites or you know hook up. They weren't changing their baits. They'd put a bait on and fish it for the entire drift, and then while we were moving, they would just wind up and leave their bait in the water and then drop it back down, and it's been dead for like 20 minutes, and they don't really. I mean, I'm sure it's possible to get a bite, but your likelihood, your chances of getting bit are a lot higher when you're constantly winding up and putting a new lively bait on your hook.
talk to me about that and talk to the audience a little bit about that. You're on the bottom, you're making contact with the bottom.
Hmm.
Is there ever a time where you wind up and change your bait, or do you finish that drift and then change your bait? How does that all work?
Yeah, there's kind of different techniques depending on the conditions, the day. On a day like today, we were kind of fishing in the lee of the island, super shallow. There was pretty much zero condition, very little current, no wind. We weren't moving at all. Typically, when you're halibut fishing, you like to have a little bit of condition to, just get a medium-sized sinker, let it sit on the bottom, and your reel is in gear. And as the boat's drifting, your sinker's dragging across the bottom and covering ground. But when there's no condition, if you just drop down to the bottom and let your bait sit there, you're not really covering any ground. So the guys that were getting bites were kind of pitching their sinkers out using really lightweight, like 4 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce torpedoes. They're casting out their setup and then dragging it across the bottom real slow, kind of like the cast and drag method. And by the time they're straight up and down, they just wind up, throw their old bait away, get a new one, and keep doing that over and over and over. And yeah, those guys got significantly more bites than the guys that just drop down to the bottom and wait.
Are you guys fishing chovy or dean or both?
Mostly chovy. We have a little bit of sardine, but it's like 95% anchovy.
Yeah, I mean that chovy is just everywhere. In fact, I talked to some San Diego boys today were complaining like, "I got a friggin', tank of chovy and we're going bluefin fishing." So it just seems to be everywhere. So, like what, a number 2 hook, number 4 hook, like that? Do you like a treble hook?
Yeah, yeah, we have pretty good sized chovy. I know a lot of guys prefer the sardine, but the kind of anchovy we've had is honestly perfect for all the fishing we do. Halibut love anchovy, especially we have really nice sized anchovy, like 5 to 7 inch, uh, good quality lively anchovy. So yeah, you can use like a size 2 J hook or a size 4 treble hook. It's kind of what the guys were using today.
Okay, and with the treble hook, how are you hooking your bait and
They
the
were
J
pretty
hook?
much just pretty much closing their mouth with the hook. Seems like we get a lot more bites that way. The bait kind of looks more natural when you just hook them in the nose. Sometimes their jaw kind of like does weird things, and it's just like sitting there open as you're dragging it across the bottom. It just doesn't really look natural. But yeah, the guys that were kind of closing the mouth of the anchovy with their hook were getting a lot of bites.
Perfect. All tuned up on that. I know how to catch a halibut now. Robert Graber, Robert, he's joining us here tonight. Mike Krinkovich is threatening to drive up there and fish with you, Daniel. Take my advice. Run in the other direction. Fast, Daniel. Fast. Run. No, Mike's a great guy. You have a really good time with him. Let's talk about tomorrow, Thursday. Are you guys going, and what will be the game plan for tomorrow? Then we'll get into Friday, a very special trip with KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits.
Yes, absolutely. We are a go tomorrow. Believe we have like 18, 19 people. Pretty fairly light load so far. The plan is to do a lot of surface fishing tomorrow. Today we kind of veered into a new area because of the wind on the front of the island, and there's actually tons of life there. Lots of barracuda, bass, bonita, all kinds of. Um, Looks like there's potential for really good surface fishing up there, so we're going to try to focus on that a bit tomorrow.
Yeah, I've heard, you even didn't you today have a couple of gar, a couple of barracuda, and a couple of
Yeah, like
calico bass?
accidentally, we weren't targeting them, but we would just see barracuda popping up all over the place as we were, driving up and down the island trying to find somewhere to fish halibut. There's a lot of barracuda around, and yeah, it could be fun to try to do that for a little bit, catch some bass. Chance at a sea bass or yellowtail as well in there.
Yeah, and what I looked at weather-wise was it's coming down now. It's gonna be a
Mhm.
beautiful tomorrow, and it looks like the weekend's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. I think all the wind is done. The weather was atrocious yesterday. It was pretty bad this morning. Even coming in, we had a pretty bad ride home. But looks like we're gonna have a beautiful ride out tomorrow and really nice, calm weather all day.
All right. I thought Robert Graber was your friend. He's trying to talk Mike Krinkovich to come up and fish with you, man. Robert, what's wrong with you? Come on, man. All right, Friday, special trip, special early departure. I think it's halibut, do or die pretty much. It's with KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits. Great guy, brings a lot of product out. Tell us about that very special day on Friday.
Yeah, so we have a full day trip sponsored by KJ from Mag 12 Swim Baits. There are going to be giveaways on board. KJ's a generous guy and he likes to let guys try out his baits, so you can expect to get a couple new swim baits or flukes or something like that if you show up. We are limiting the load to 35 people as opposed to our 49 load. Our last sponsored trip with KJ, it was a phenomenal trip, but it was a little crowded, so we're gonna try to take a few less people on this one and have more room at the rail. We'll be fishing for. We'll do some halibut drifts. Obviously, we'll be looking for sea bass. Now we'll do some surface fishing as well for like bass, barracuda, yellowtail. Hopefully, uh, yeah, we're just looking forward to a fun day of fishing.
Cool, man. 5 to 5 trip, right?
Correct. Yeah, 5 a.m. departure on that one.
All right, excellent. And then Saturday, we're going to do what we're doing on Thursday, I'm guessing, looking for the surface bite, back it up with a
Yes.
rod trick.
Saturday we have a private charter, but
Okay.
Sunday we're back online, super light on the reservation so far, and yeah, depending how the bite's going, you can check out our fish counts the next few days, and you'll have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing if you were to want to come on Sunday.
All right, kids fish free on Sunday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be going on every single Sunday for the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure we don't have any more Sundays blocked out for charters. I know we had a couple last month, but Sundays should be open for the rest of the year for our kids fish free day.
Shoot, Mackey's thinking about coming up there and going with you on Friday. That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's do it, Mackie.
All right, very good. Daniel, man, you look beat. I know you put in a hard day today. You look
It's all
really
good.
tired, man. I probably do too. But I'm gonna let you get some rest. I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit. We'll let you run off and get some sleep and get out tomorrow. And then maybe Friday evening, you and I can get together again and we could talk about the Friday trip and let everybody know what's going to happen on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you so much for having me, Phil. Good talking to you guys, and we hope to see you soon on the Island Spirit.
All right, Ventura Sportfishing.com, or you can call the landing 805 676 3474. Daniel, take care.
Thank you so much, Phil. Have a good one.
All right, there goes the best part of the show right there. You're stuck with me now, everybody. I just wanted to cover a few things with you, let you know some of the things that I've been hearing, and that weather is starting to come down. I've talked to some of the boats that are fishing out of San Diego here this evening, and they said it was pretty nasty for the most part. It's starting to come down a little bit. I do want to mention to you that the commercial boat I used to run, the Thunderbird out of Davies, like a 33 yellowtail at San Clemente Island. In fact, when I was in post production, I was able to give you that news. So that is good stuff. Tangle Diver says, "Get some rest, gentlemen." I know, Tangle Diver, I'm just 8 hours away from a really good morning briefing. I'm actually feeling pretty good, but thank you so very much. Robert Graber and Ventura Sport Fishing has the Western Outdoor News event next week also. Don't miss that great event, and don't tempt Mackie with a good time, Robert, whatever you do. So we have that going on there at Clemente. That was a heck of a bite, big grade yellowtail on the dropper. I like what we're hearing there. More and more yellowfin are sliding into the counts. This weather got up on us. We didn't see much, but we did see another good day on the full day boat out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, the San Diego. I think they had 33 bluefin tuna and some kelp patty yellowtail to go along with that. There's a lot of good stuff going on, but this weather definitely got in the way. And in terms of the bluefin tuna bite right now, it's a little more down today, I would say. There's some pretty poor scores floating around from what I'm hearing. Now, that could be a combination of weather. And as I mentioned to Daniel just a moment ago, I had some guys complaining to me, not that I had anything to do with it, they're just venting, like, man, I got a tank of anchovy. We need some sardines. So, the bait operation in San Diego, there's nobody better than those guys, but they're having a little bit of difficulty finding chovies, or I should say, finding deans on a regular basis. So we'll see how that all goes. Some guys do have deans, some guys are stuck with straight chovy. We'll see how that goes. Alan Rushing. Alan, it is so good to see you. He says, "Hey, Phil and Captain Daniel, even sending a good evening to Robert Graber." Man, that is good stuff, as Graber and the boys are conversing here in the chat right now. And now also we've got the cranker, Mike Crankovich. Good stuff, everybody. Some really good sand bass fishing going on in San Diego. Santa Barbara had some good fishing today also. And of course, on the morning briefing, I'll talk to the boys tonight, see what they do on that bluefin tuna, run down any other information that may be breaking. And of course, we'll be watching Mexico Lindo, Ensenada. Wow, has it been good? 70 miles below the border. They've got great bluefin tuna fishing going on. They've had good barracuda. They've had yellowtail around there. Ensenada, Baja California Norte on fire. Down below that, San Quintin, also very, very good. All right, my friends, it is so great to spend time with you here this evening. Thanks for making time in your busy day. And oh, one more thing. If you haven't seen, maybe I'm crazy here. You guys can chime in as much as you want. If you haven't seen the interview I did with Charles Webb from Stoke for Life Foundation, Stoke On Life Foundation. He's a paraplegic who's overcome his disabilities, and he's out surfing and he's sport fishing. In fact, at this very moment, he's probably in a hotel now, but he drove all day long. He's got his front of his car, I was going to say his bow pointed toward Palmas de Cortez down in Los Barriles, Baja California Sur. He's going to go down there and do some fishing, and he's going to be reporting back to us, letting us know how he did. I did a podcast with him. He's such an inspirational guy. I hope you'll take the time to check it out. Let's see. Mike Krikovich, fun chat. Live Phil. Daniel up in Ventura. Mike, you make it that way. Good to have you with us. Hit that like button. Thanks for reminding me, Alan. I forgot that. And also, everybody, sorry for the typo. Mike Krankovich, Phil is the ultimate solid. Mike, man, that $20 bill I slipped you is paying big dividends here tonight. Hey, you guys, always great to spend time with you. Thank you so much. I'll be back with the morning briefing tomorrow. And of course, we'll have a lot more. Might have a couple of shorts for you a little bit later this evening. We'll see how that all goes. Hey, God bless. Take care. And I hope to see you really, really soon. I'll see you in the morning for the morning briefing. Take care, my friends. See you then.